as I get close to the 2-year anniversary of Body of Truth, 2 years of making consecutive daily videos, I look back at my first video. And my first video, I was reading a book by Brene Brown, and I remember feeling really hit by one of the chapters that talked about guilt versus shame, and how guilt can be a constructive kind of corrective type of behavior, and shame probably is something that either has been handed to you or something that you are blaming yourself for that probably has very little to do with your own actions. Shame is largely something that you carry or that you have developed, and guilt is something where you feel guilty because you didn't do the right thing. And what comes up for me today is the discussion of the guilt, and I would say the underlying shame of what mothers go through. I can pretty much guarantee, I'm not going to speak for fathers because I'm not a father, but I can speak for my experience and know that there were many days where I felt that I had completely failed as a mother, where every other mother looked like they had their shit together, where no other mother forgot like the permission slip or had to go to 7-Eleven for the field trip lunch, or, you know, these moms looked very like, especially for their kids, they might show up in pajamas, but they had all their shit together for their kids. And I was like a bedraggled version of that. My heart and love were there, but my execution was a little bit sloppy. And I joke with my grown son now that, like, look how organized he is, that, you know, unfortunately by being deficient, he had to be overcompensatory. And he is a very gracious man, and says, you know, what you think is fucking your kids up, first of all, I guarantee you has nothing to do with the stories they're going to tell your therapist. So just let yourself off the hook right now. Those things that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. They don't even remember them. Because that's your own stuff. That's not theirs. But I guess what I want to tell mothers that I know are all doing the best that they can is that your kids are exactly the kids that you were supposed to be a mother to. What you're going to give them, no other woman, no matter how put together she is, no matter how organized she is, can give them exactly what you give them. And I also believe that they chose you. It was a mutual choosing. So if you can let yourself off the hook a little bit because you forgot their juice box, or that you have to run up to the school and you're embarrassed about it, what comes out of your heart for them is way more important. And if you can love them in an unabashed way, that you can let loose your schedules, you will have you can compartmentalize your stress a little bit more. Because it does take organization. And I would offer it does take a village. You can't just run a household with one person. You need help. Everybody needs help when raising a child. And I will tell you, as a child who was completely raised by a village, often your child is better off for it. So I just want to give like a little offer today to moms of kids, especially young and like grade school kids, where you don't feel like you have it together. Nobody feels like they have it together. I went to my 10-year reunion. I was a punk rocker with a shaved head, and every cheerleader was like, you did whatever you wanted. I felt so other and ostracized. I went home and cried every night. That was such a revelation. We all feel like that. We all feel like that. And all young moms feel like, oh my God. Even the ones that look really posh when they're out, they have that moment of not having anything together. So I just wanted to give you that offer this morning to let yourself off the hook just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not that you get to be irresponsible, but just let the pressure, the added pressure that you're adding to yourself with that little bit of guilt or shame, try to lighten that load just a little bit. Let that slide off your back, because you know what? That's not really yours to carry. You don't have to carry that. So that's what comes up for me today. And I will see you tomorrow.